All right, we are live. How's it going, everyone? All right, we are just getting things situated and set up before we get started here. So, this is going to be a community session. So, all are welcome, all are invited. Okay, so that's working. Awesome. All right, we should be live in all the groups, all the pages. Wonderful. So, we're going to give a moment, let people jump in here before we start our talk. So if you are just joining, feel free to say hello. We should have a nice group of people connected together. All right, all right. Hey Joyce, how's it going? So we're gonna get started here soon. So get yourself comfortable. We're gonna have a nice talk on grounding, what it means to reconnect, and yeah, so some techniques that I use to help get secure, get reconnected, and what we can do to better take care of our own energy system. And let's see here. All right, I got all the lives up here. Kelsey, how's it going? It's Drew. Oh, I see. Hey, Drew, how's it going? I'm trying to situate all of my streams here so I can kind of see what's going on. Hey, Mary, how are you? Okay, all right. Nice Arizona. We got some Virginias over here. Cool. Yeah, so definitely, if you're just tuning in now, feel free to say hello. Let us know where you're coming from. We should have people spanning all over the country. I'm doing well. I am doing well. Thank you. getting ready to get grounded and get focused. It's always an interesting time frame when we come out of the Lionsgate energy because it's such a high intensity, and you don't really know how you're going to land. You don't really understand yet what the energy is going to do to you and how you're going to settle into the next coming, weeks and months. So that's why getting grounded is a really important factor. And so we're going to go over some really cool techniques that I've learned over the years to really help us get more embodied and learn about that type of self-care that usually gets neglected. We usually have such a strong drive for our obligations, for our kids, for our chores, for everything else, our business, our life, but we end up putting ourselves in the back seat. And we're going to recap what we can do to help ourselves and learn a little bit of self-care. Hmm. Alrighty. Jen, how's it doing in Englewood? I can't wait to revisit Englewood. It feels like it was another lifetime ago. South Carolina. Yeah, we've been having our summer storms come through here. We had some crazy hail. This is probably a week or two ago where it was like, a good quarter size hail, little snow ice balls, and that was a little scary. I remember them hitting my windshield. I was actually driving. I was thinking about pulling over because I was like, "Oh man, looks like a tornado is about to just blow through here." And the hail came just missiling down. I thought it was gonna just explode the windshield, but thank goodness it didn't. Yes, this is kind of a part two. You're welcome. The reason we're doing this part two is because yeah, we had a little bit of stream issues before for Lionsgate. Problems were arising just out of the blue. I don't even remember ever seeing some of these technical issues happen, and they just all cascaded and decided to occur during one of the best sessions of the year. So I felt a little bad about that, and I was like, well, we're gonna do another one soon after. So here we are today. And hopefully everything's going to go according to plan because we have a sound bath as I usually play, and that was a big problem before, but I'm going to be playing that through this new streaming service, and hopefully everything goes as planned. Yeah, lots of storms. Um, yeah, so most people looks like are coming through the YouTube link. Mary, or Jen, everything looking good on the YouTube live link. So the YouTube live link is working, correct? Back to the studio. Okay, so YouTube is working. Okay, good to know. Close that. All right, cool. All right, everyone. So yeah, we're gonna get started here. We're gonna start talking about just talking about our grounding. Interesting. Yeah, so I'm just checking out all the live feeds. I'm just checking on all the live feeds and just making sure everything is going smooth before I get started. So I left myself a good, 10, 15 minutes to just get settled and let everyone kind of be here. Ascension Network. Yeah, I saw that to make sure I clicked the link for auto captioning. Ooh, wow, we're turning after work after 6 weeks. Yeah, this is definitely a good session for that because that'll help you get all your energy focused and back to your body. All right. Lots of new fancy ways I can kind of navigate all these live streams. All right, the last one, and then we're starting. All right, so we're good to go. Yeah, technology. So as I said before, a little leeway this first go around because this is the first time of using this software, and I want to make sure everything is working appropriately, you know. But it's fun because this is the future, and eventually I'll have more to present and more to kind of kind of showcase with different camera angles and different ways I can use audio because I'm going to be playing music through this program, and it should be good to go. So you know so this community session, it's all about like getting grounded and helping reconnect. And as I said, that Lionsgate energy can just bring everything to the surface. It can be very tumultuous for people, and especially if you're doing the meditations, you're working on yourself, or just life in general. Just it can be intense sometimes, especially during this time frame of the summer. And as we go through life, our body, if we don't put time back into our body, it's almost like a car where certain maintenance should be done or you're going to run into a problem. You're going to get burnt out. You're going to come to your wits' end, and stress is just going to smother you. So a form of maintenance that we should do is really important. And we're going to go over um, we're going to go over some techniques to help learn about the body, reconnect, and get ourselves super grounded. So the first thing like you want to understand is that we have a physical body in this dimension. So taking care of your physical body is super important. Putting the right nutrients, the very obvious things, eating well, don't eat before bed, having some fruit, not eating processed foods, things like that. But other than that obvious, you know, exercising, if we don't feel well, if we're getting anxious, if we have too much built up energy, we can't calm our minds down, always look to exercise if you can first. Burning off that energy is one of the best things you can do for your well-being. But other than that, we don't have to go to the gym and, work out 5 hours a week. Just walking, just doing a mile a day. Keep it simple. These little things really add up over time. Just like if you're a couch potato for weeks on end and you don't do any physical activities, you're going to build up a lot of calories. You're going to build up and your body's going to start to feel it. So just doing a simple thing as going on a walk. Meg and I used to have such a beautiful walking schedule. We probably did 14 miles a week, maybe more at some points. We're trying to redevelop those practices because these little things, they really help your body in regards to maintenance. Now, if you have a little bit more problems with anxiety or depression and it's really a struggle to get snapped out of that train of thought because you're just existing on this bandwidth, this very narrow bandwidth of anxiety where the world's crumbling down, or you don't feel well, or you don't feel like your purpose is coming through, then it starts to get a little more serious. We need a little bit bigger of a catalyst to snap us out of that very thin perception of what depression and anxiety does, because it takes the whole spectrum of your life, it takes the whole spectrum of what you could experience, the whole emotional bandwidth of feelings and sensations that we have, and it collapses them down into two really difficult emotions in which the whole world seems terrible when you're going through that. So we need a little bit bigger of a boost to get ourselves out of that. Now, the first is a really good one. That's soaking. That's getting into a bath with some Epsom salt. So Epsom salt is really high in magnesium. Most of us are depleted in magnesium, so that's a really good boost. It's very calming. It calms the nervous system. A lot of what we're trying to do on our spiritual path is get control over our triggers, get control of our nervous system, and get into that state of peace so we can, connect to the divine, to the creator in the ways in which we're using all of our energy, not that narrow energy, that collapsed down bandwidth of being anxious or depressed. So huge recommendation. If you don't have a bag of Epsom salt, it is so good at clearing away all the stagnant energy that you accumulate when you go in high dense areas, when you're around a bunch of people, or if you're going into a really stressful urban environment. Epsom salt is a great cleanser of the auric field. And for those of you who live at the beach, the ocean is like the number one cleanser of the whole auric field. That salt water is amazing, pending you're in a clean aspect of the ocean, because there's a lot of polluted places as well, so always be careful. But the same thing goes, that salt water, that is a very cleansing force. So just soaking 1 or 2 times a week can give you huge benefits for your well-being. All right, let's see here. We're going to take a question real quick. All right, we're gonna make sure everyone's getting in here from the YouTube, from the Facebook event. Give me one quick second and see. Southwest Florida. Oh, nice. All right. Okay. So that's a big one. Okay, now here's the last one. Here's the last tool that is really helpful. Now, this is for one where you really need to snap yourself back into your body or to break free of the depression, even if it's just momentarily or anxiety. And that is cold water therapy. I had someone try this just the other week and it really, really helped them. Now, I haven't done my cold soaking in some time, and I wish I could because it really does. Oh, it's amazing. So, if you have the capacity to get a ice bath going, that's what you want to do. And the goal is to just soak in the ice bath for at least a couple minutes and to get that temperature down as low as you can. But, even if you can get it down into 50 degrees, it's going to do its thing. Any colder than that, and that's just kind of a bonus. And it will be really shocking, obviously. But here's what it does. Here's what I've learned in my experience with cold soaking, and that is when you introduce that level of cold into your body, it's going to snap you down into the survival state of consciousness, meaning all that anxiety, all that depression, they're worthless. They're meaningless in comparison to the body's in kind of a shock and it needs to survive. So that's what happens when you utilize the cold, is that it's going to bring you out of those illusionary perspectives or those limiting perspectives of being depressed or being anxious. They're not illusionary, they're limiting. And it snaps you out of that. And it shows you, especially if you go into the cold with awareness of what you're thinking, what you're doing. The moment you get in there, that just literally peels away like it's nothing, like it's just a shadow. And you're left with your true self. You're left with the self, your body. Everything is composed. That is what you want to kind of isolate in that practice, because it's showing you this is yourself. That's right here. That's facing the cold. All that other stuff, it doesn't really have meaning when you get into the cold. So that's why I recommend that as kind of like a last, kind of straw / attempt at snapping you out of a particular mindset and getting back into your physical body, because it forces you, it pulls all of your energy. And does anyone have any experience with doing cold water therapy, ice soaking? Yeah, anyone have any? Yeah, feel free to comment if you have tried cold water therapy, because that's a big one. The practitioner Wim Hof has done that. He teaches like a breathing style, and to go in the cold and get all this natural prana, this natural energy flowing through your body. Yeah, someone says cold water therapy rebalances the vagus nerve. I don't know that for sure, but that sounds like that could be a thing because when you feel your whole body rebalance, that really could be a a benefit to it. And Robert says, I've been doing alternating cold and warm showers, which has improved circulation, gives you more energy. Love it. Definitely, definitely. Yeah, and especially if you have like a spa where they have the cold soaking and then they have like a steam room or a sauna. That's the best. Doing a couple rounds of that, super helpful, and like you instantly feel better when you do that type of therapy. And that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to learn how to get reconnected to the body, how to get regrounded. All right, thank you for sharing that, Robert. Mary says, I haven't done ice soaking, but I've taken freezing cold showers with Himalayan sea salt on the shower floor. I've only done it a couple of times though. Yeah, that's what I would do if I didn't have enough time to take a bath. I would just turn the water cold and I would just literally take a handful of the Epsom salt and just kind of lightly scrub all over my body to kind of clear away. And the things you also want to do is visualize yourself clearing, like get your intention behind it because all that non-physical energy that's sticking to you, having that mental alignment of you're clearing energy off of your body, it definitely adds to the element of your own self-care. All right, we'll go ahead then. And Vanessa says definitely parasympathetic relaxation. Yeah, so if you haven't tried it and you really need to jumpstart yourself, don't be afraid to get into the cold. Do it with a friend. If you have, if you have a friend, tell them to come over, do some ice bath, and see how much energy you get. See the dopamine you get afterwards. They say it's like 2.5 times dopamine boost after a cold soak and that lasts hours. You go like 3, 4, 5 hours after a cold soak, and you still feel really good. Now, I will say this as a caveat, and that is there are people who will use that cold as a means of escaping their own problems and bypassing their inner inner work that they're ignoring. Because as you go through life, your higher essence is going to show you specific things about your mind, your body, the way you think, things from the past that it wants you to bring attention to and to think about, to bring presence to. So there will be people who will have those shadows start to come out and they're going to say, no, 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 I don't want to deal with that. I only want to deal with pleasure, happiness, good vibes only. I'm going to go cold soak and knock it out of me. And then they're going to get into this cycle where it may help. They may be able to ignore it for some time, but eventually, if your inner soul wants you to think of something, it will make it known. So remember, there's always going to be a balance between any type of practice. No practice is going to be the end all. This is going to be perfect for everyone, and there's no, checks that keep it intact. So remember that for any practice. Is this bypassing or so keep that in mind. All right, so that was the big one, ice bath. So the next thing is going to be about what can you do to get reconnected. Now, there's this movie, I don't really recommend it or anything, but I think it was called Limitless. And this guy takes this magical pill, gives him, basically this huge boost of mental capacity where it turns into a genius. And what's interesting about this is this was in like a little clip I saw recently. And this is exactly what you need to do, because if you want to be successful, if you want to change your life, if you want to do things, you need to clean. You need to have organization within the way that you the way that you live. So if you have a messy room, go clean your room. If you want to be successful in business, go clean your room first. Go make your bed. And that was really interesting because the first thing he did when he got these superpowers, scrubbed his entire apartment. He cleaned and organized everything. And there's a big point to that, is that that's chaos. Anytime you live with disorganization or there's a mess around, it's living in your mind. So if you want to be successful, you want to feel better within your body, then you need to organize and do your best to clean up your own personal space, because all of that carries an energetic weight. Just having, let's just say, like a bookshelf with all the books are scattered around, all of that little energy is just reflecting in your head, and it causes chaos. So bring organization back to your space. Every time Megan and I do these sessions, we always clean the house. It's like the first thing we do is we do all the dishes, even though it has nothing to do with what I'm doing today, doing this group connection, but it has everything to do with the energy that I place myself in. So take that as a recommendation. Clean your space. First thing you do, make your bed. Organize everything that you can organize. Don't live in a mess. It's really difficult because all of that chaos holds an energy. And that energy keeps you in the mess. It's kind of self-fulfilling prophecy where you can't get out of it because you're stuck in it. So organize your space the best way that you can. And another really big thing, now this obviously takes a little more effort to get regrounded, get reconnected, and that is get yourself in nature. I watched this documentary at some point. One second, let me do something. One second here. Okay, so next thing is, the forest. Get yourself into nature. Megan and I just traveled to this beautiful mountain, and we hadn't been to like that level of nature in some time, where when you get to nature, it helps reset you to the rhythms of the earth and to all of the patterns that the seasons bring. And when you're behind a desk, when you're behind a computer and electronics day in and day out, you get used to that energy. And then you begin to think that this is life. This is what life is. But it's not. What is life is when you get out to nature where there's nothing around for miles and you get reconnected. That voice of Mother Nature is so strong that all you have to do is just be quiet and just listen. Just listen for a little bit. And with what comes with that voice is yourself. The essence, the truer essence that you want to connect with comes with that reconnection. And if you have the ability to camp out, 3 days is that magic day to where you get reset. And we were just out there for like, a good 8 hours out in the forest walking around, probably did 3 or 4 miles or something. And it was just so beautiful because it really just strips away like, this is what life is. This is what myself is. This is how I rebalance myself when your obligations and your business and your just living gets to be a little much, and you have to go out and you have to clear, reset, and just get rid of all that old energy. So 3 days is the magic number to where Mother Nature will reset you. So if you have the ability, that's what you want to do. You want to go out in nature, do some hiking, get your blood flowing, get reconnected. Another cool thing is that different parts of nature, they all have different feelings. That's a really cool thing that didn't make itself known right away, but after, you go down the spiritual path and you start recognizing different localities, different regions of the world, they feel different. They have a different vibe, and make the most of the nature that you do have, because when you move, it's gone. Like we used to live by the water, cleansing in the ocean all the time. Amazing energy. Now we don't have that anymore. So now we have to learn to ground and reconnect with the nature that we do have. So, alrighty. So next we're going to get into, this is going to end it before we start the actual group healing session. And this has to do more with like the energy part. Now the energy part is like where I really come to that's my forte. Anything that has to do with like inner work in controlling, recognizing, and embodying your own natural presence. This is my specialty. This is what really separates me from all the other things that I do, is like learning how to meditate, learning to understand what you are, how to dissolve your ego into the beautiful presence that you were born with. That's what is super important. Now, here's a couple grounding techniques that you learn and you hear about like when you kind of start in the beginning. And that is, imagining roots coming down your legs, coming at your feet, and reconnecting with earth. That's like a really good beginner level way of grounding yourself, because as you go through your spiritual awakening, you begin to have your awareness expand off of the body, and you begin to take more identification with your whole totality of your energy, not just your body. You start to see that your physical body is just merely holding your awareness into the dimension. And the more you activate, meditate, go inwards, do these group sessions, you have the ability to open up the potential of being human. It doesn't just happen without doing it. You have to put in the effort. You have to understand and know yourself. And that's why this life is so difficult, because a lot of people stop. They don't inquire further, and they think that's all what life is. But this is one of the hardest puzzles that there is, the full potential of the human body. And when you go inwards, you start to open up your awareness, and then you say, oh man, I'm starting to feel myself get ungrounded, so how can I get reconnected? And envisioning roots coming out of your feet is a really good visual tool in the beginning to help pull your energy back to the body. Too much meditation can be a bad thing at times, because we need to get physical. We have to create change in our lives. We have to create and fulfill our purpose, which needs a physical body to do that. So we can't be meditating all day. That merely opens up the spectrum of your potentiality. And the next technique I wanted to share with you is kind of like more of like intermediate to advanced technique of grounding. So if you're comfortable meditating, sitting, being in peace, I want you to imagine that bubble around you that is your awareness, that is your presence, And imagine you're pulling energy in from a 360-degree circle all at once. So you're pulling your entire energy field from all sides inwards towards your body. And when you do that and learn that kind of technique, you'll have a lot more success in understanding what your energy is versus the visual of just kind of having roots come out your feet, because your whole body can ground. You're learning to expand and contract your own awareness. And when we expand too much, that's when we say, okay, I need to do physical things. Having my awareness peeled so far off my body, it's not the best, you know. So getting that energy all back down is really important, especially when you get more and more disciplined in your practice. That will become more and more of a necessity. Getting grounded, getting your awareness all back down. Because over time, what happens is your higher power gives you more and more access to what you are. And that comes with privilege, and that comes with responsibility. So that choice of knowing to expand comes at a slight cost, because now you have to understand how to balance that gift that your higher essence is giving you. Alrighty, so next thing is to, if you want to really get your energy flowing, this is kind of like a meditation technique, but that is the prayer position. You know, most of the time we have our palms open, we have maybe the index and the thumb finger connected, but what I've learned is that if you really want to contain your energy is to get into prayer position. It simply is to have your hands at your chest, at your heart, and focus on having your palms open and having a clear circulation that goes down your arms, through your chest, around your back, together. And really get that glow moving. Get that energy flowing between your hands. Now, to complement that as well, you also want to get the bottoms of your feet as open as possible too, because all these channels need to be open at some point in time. We get so used to living in a limited frame where it's the same as if you carry around a bunch of stress all day long and you finally get a massage and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm relaxed for the first time. You just shed all that weight. You're like, oh, this is how I want to feel. All that stress is limiting. So the same thing happens with learning how to direct and open up energy in your body. We get used to just having a couple channels of energy open. We think that's all life is, but it's not. That's why we have so many ways to learn and understand the body. But to keep it short, simply place your focus on to the bottoms of your feet and just open them. Just visualize them opening until you feel an increase in circulation that goes from the bottoms of your feet through your calves, up your legs. And then you can actually connect those energies. We want to glow from within. We want to glow from within as much as possible. And from this position, this is where you can really get into the energies of the heart, the energies of the next consciousness, to focus on love, to focus on compassion, to focus on reverence, to focus on, I may have just said this twice, to focus on devotion and or gratitude even as well. Those energies are super important. So this is a great meditation position, the prayer position, to focus on those energies. All right, friends. So that is just about, I'll say one more thing. One more thing for those of you who really do have a practice and really do want to learn more, and to go a little bit more deeper, to go deeper into this practice and these concepts of getting yourself grounded, getting yourself reconnected. The human energy system has two main connection points that need to be balanced. And that's the connection of energy flowing up your body and the energy of flowing down your body. Two polarizing connections, the earth energy and then spiritual energy coming down. And you have to visualize them as two plugs. You're trying to plug yourself in from the top to your higher power, to the higher essence, to the divine. And then also the energy coming upwards, the grounding, restorative energy coming from the earth that um, that connects you to that physical body. Those are the two plugs that are very, very important. So before you do any type of spiritual practice, this is what I do: is I open up those two cords and make sure they're connected and they're secure. Once they're secure, then I say, okay, now it's time to start whatever type of practice or energy work that I was about to do. Alrighty. Alrighty, so that about does it. I don't know what this person's doing. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. Alright. Yeah, I'm not sure what that person was doing. Just going over and checking these last messages. Okay, so we're going to get started here in just a moment with the actual healing session. Just going through real quick and making sure that everything is running smoothly. All right, so we're going to get ready. We're going to get ready to receive this energy now. So I am going to take a seat behind me, and I'm going to channel this grounded, connecting force to everyone. This is one of my main gifts that I like to share, and that is a group healing channel in which one person has the capacity to connect, support, and help boost up any number of people. All it takes is one awakened person to help connect everyone, help restore them, help shed pain, help release anxiety, help release tension. It's a beautiful practice that's taken many, 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 many years of practice to refine. So I'm not just sitting there. For those of you who are new, I'm not just sitting there in meditation. We're not just meditating together. I'm sitting there and I'm connecting to you, and I'm connecting you to a beautiful, harmonic, peaceful, safe, connected energy. And yeah, so all you need to do is get into your peaceful space to receive. I'm going to actually play a sound bath, and hopefully it comes through for the first time okay on this stream that we're doing. So I'm going to have music playing in the background. But if you have your own personal music that you would prefer to listen to, you can do that as well. This is just a complement to the healing energy that I'm going to be sending you. Okay? So that's how that is going to work. If you have any questions, now is your time to ask before we begin. All right. Okay. We're just about ready. Okay, so we have about 9 minutes before we officially begin. All right. So, best ways that we can receive. So the first thing you want to do is get in your space, get comfortable, get relaxed. And in the same relationship that you would have with a massage therapist, where you lay on the table and then you're allowing the masseuse or the body worker to work on you, that's the exact relationship that you want with this community session. You are allowing yourself to receive this energy. And that's as simple as it can be, because once you make that mental uh, gate open, that's the connection that secures us all. So, pretty straightforward, really easy to follow. If anybody is new, let me know. Is anyone new to this style of group connection? Feel free to share if you are. All right. Oh, nice. Yes, sitting up or lying down. Lying down is typically a restorative session. Show on stream. Okay. Talking about sitting up versus lying down. So if you are lying down, that's more like you want to receive restorative energy, meaning you've had a tough time. You say, "Oh, I just want to relax. I just want this energy to put me back together." That's where you would more lie down. And just this is just a general rule of thumb. Everyone's different, and both scenarios can happen regardless of if you're lying down or sitting up. Now, sitting up is more for those who want to expand their own spiritual practice, maybe receive more insights to how they can grow in their own abilities. Like, for instance, if I'm going to go meditate, I'm sitting up because I'm expanding. I'm basically starting from where I left off every day. And I'm saying, okay, putting the pieces together. I'm moving forward. I'm building my journey. I'm learning more. Going through the third eye, it's more of a like growth oriented. Like I'm ready to grow. I want to see what's next around the corner. That's when I'm going to be sitting up. So I'm most 99% of the time I sit up for my meditations. But when I do activities like this, if I was participating in someone else's session, most of the time I would probably lie down unless I had something really specific I wanted to work out sitting up, you know? So if I was like doing some shadow work where I wanted insight, maybe I would sit up, but a happy medium is being propped up in between lying down and sitting up. So if you want to prop yourself up, that's always a good middle ground. Awesome. Kenya, you are new from Baltimore. Awesome. Very nice to have you. Really nice to have you. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, everyone. So we got about 4 minutes until we begin. Alright, just setting everything up before we start. So we have about a couple minutes. Alright, everyone. Nope, you did not miss this session, Karen. We are about to start right now in just one moment. So if you want to get in your position to relax, the energy healing part is about to commence. So get yourself situated, propped up on some pillows, and ready to receive this energy. All right, friends, we're going to start the music. And Well done. Let me know how you're doing. All grounded, put back together. Hope everyone's doing nice. Hope they had a nice session. Nice connection. Old friend Savage, how are you, my friend? Yeah, the Babaji t-shirt, that was a Easter egg of the presentation. Anyway, before everyone starts jumping off here, I want to share a quick couple announcements. For one, I'm hosting a 4-week meditation series. If you've ever been interested on how I've learned to get into these states of consciousness, to get empowered, to help yourself, it's one of the greatest gifts you'll ever have in this lifetime, is to learn how to sit down and be in peace. That starts August 23rd. August 23rd. So if you want more information, feel free to do a hashtag meditation, and I'll send you a message. I'll see if I can pin a link. I'm not sure if I can do that right here, but let me see if I can post that really quick if you want to take a look at it. There we go. All right, I posted a YouTube comment. Let me see if that went to everyone. Okay, so I guess it did. Awesome. Well, if anybody wants to learn more about this, I do these group healing sessions 2 times a month. So if you are new, let me know. I have a deal where you can sign up for $1 for the whole month, and that gets you 2 sessions. And then the regular breaks down to $33 a month, which I think is a pretty awesome deal. But if you are new, you want to try it out, you can do it for $1. Sign up. The next session is actually in a couple days. So this was a community session. This is how I like to give back. This is how I like to kind of share the energy, the wealth, the knowledge, the wisdom in these connections, because I know it's probably, we'll say, unique to a lot of people who've never done this before. But we do this all the time. And if you're interested in a private session, I do those as well. If you want all that focus, all that attention on yourself, I do host private sessions that we schedule in a very similar situation as we just did now, except it's all my energy and attention and skill set focused on you. So if you, and I know there's a lot of my group healing members that haven't had a private session with me. If you haven't had a private session, I really do strongly suggest that you think about that, because that's the next level of connection, and especially all of everything I've learned on how to help someone's energy field. Definitely think about it. I'm going to be launching a event for more private sessions in the very near future. I think the last week of August I'm going to end up doing it, because this week is very, very busy. So I'll leave everyone at that. Private sessions, my group healing. If you want to do this every month, we do this every month. And then lastly, the meditation series coming up on the 23rd. All right, everyone. I'm always around, so feel free to message me if you have a question about anything. Although I can't answer any messenger messages for the next few days. Facebook blocked my ability to do that because I was simply messaging people about the event that we're doing now. So they make it really difficult for small businesses to succeed in a lot of ways. All right, cool. So I think, I got some nice comments over here. Yeah, if you had any experiences you want to share, feel free to say that. Myra says, towards the end, felt very powerful energy focused on my heart. Me too. I had a very, very beautiful ending. And yeah, I was really, really getting on really feeling in alignment on a lot of that session. And Kenya, thanks for joining. Myra, Jen, and it says Facebook people I can't see, but thank you for your nice comments. I recommend a private session. Awesome, thank you. Another person saying it as well. So yeah, a lot of these people have had private sessions with me. So if you haven't had it, I'm going to be making an event for it really soon. I can get a lot of work done on someone within 20 minutes. So I definitely recommend it if you want to. If you're, especially when you need it the most, you're not feeling well, you're depressed, you're down, need a little pick me up. Man, I could wash that energy right off you. You feel brand new afterwards. Lisa, thank you. All right, everyone, think that'll do it. Awesome. And then C says, another really nice comment. Thank you. I highly recommend trying the private sessions as well. Very helpful, and notice the effects for several days. A good old-fashioned energy clearing, alignment building. Thank you. I can't see who your name is, but thank you, C, for sharing that feedback with everyone. It really helps when people can see and people can kind of see what other people are experiencing. Feel free to message me. Yeah, feel free to message me right away if you want a private session. Just send me a message right now. We will get that scheduled. Okay, so if you want to get a private session in, just go ahead and just send me a message now. No need to wait for an event. I'll have that on my schedule. And my next group healing session is going to be, I'm going to leave a link right here. You can go here, grouphealing.com. Super simple, grouphealing.com, and you'll see a link on that page. I'm going to go ahead and double check and just see what it looks like. Yeah, so you can join. You can click the banner, join the group healing session for $1 with code CONNECT. So go to grouphealing.com, click the top banner. It will bring you to a checkout, and just hit subscribe. Put your info in, and then make sure you use the code CONNECT, which it said at the very top of the screen, and you'll get that first session, the first 2 sessions for $1, and then it goes up to its normal rate. Super easy. And alrighty, I think that about does it. Thank you for sharing, Mary, sharing her experience. Yeah, and a lot of people have really good meditations during this. So if you're new to meditation as well, like when you feel this energy hit you, you're going to be able to go get more peaceful. You're going to be able to tune in more deeply. You're going to be able to be in your own presence, because you're going to have that support of this power, of this energy. So thank you for sharing, Mary. So once again, grouphealing.com for the next group healing session, which is in 2 days. So this Thursday. Yeah, that's Thursday, right? Yeah, 2 days, the 16th, so Wednesday. The 16th. The 16th, Wednesday the 16th is going to be the next group healing session. All right. So I think that about does it, everyone. as I said, you want a private session, feel free to send me a message, and I will get back to you. Alrighty, have a nice evening. Remember to ground, remember all those things that we talked about. Get your feet on the bare ground, drink some water, take an ice bath, get some Epsom salt, get yourself cleared, get yourself feeling good. Alright everyone, that'll do it. I will connect with you soon.